Good afternoon. This is Cody Kaufman with Fth212, June 9, 2025, week 2 assignment. Video proof. We're going to be discussing the whole firearm has been disassembled. Alright. And I chose randomly selected 6 of these items to discuss and talk about. I have it all written down here, printed out nice and pretty. Alright, so about the slide stop lever. Let's find that. Slide stop lever. Alright, its function locks the slide open after the last round is fired. In the cycle of operation, it engages during the ejection phase when the magazine is empty. Next is the connector. Just find our connector. Connector. Right here. Connector. Alright, the connector works with the trigger mechanism to release the striker. The cycle of operation engaged during the final firing phase. Okay. Next, the barrel. The barrel. The function of it guides the bullets and contains the pressure of the fired round. The firing during the cycle of operation is central to firing and locking and unlocking phase. Alright, next is the striker. Striker slide. Striker. The striker strikes the primer and ignites the cartridge. The cycle of operation is firing phase. Extractor. So let's get the extractor. Extractor. Alright, pulls the spent casing from the chamber. Cycle of operation. Extraction phase. The guide rod. The guide rod supports the recoil spring and helps guide the slide and the cycle of operation, recoil, and return the battery. Alright, now critical dimension identification and failure analysis, step 3. Alright, the critical dimensions for the slide stop lever: engagement surface thickness, pivot pin diameter, and the lever length and angle. Potential failures: failure to lock the slide, breakage at the pivot and some wear on it. It could be rounded engagement surface, loosening at the pivot point. Next is the connector. Connector. Alright, connector dimension, critical dimensions. Angle of the connector tab typically around 90 degrees to 105 degrees. Thickness of the connector arm. Engagement height with the trigger bar. Potential failures: failure to reset trigger, light strikes, normal wear, polishing or rounding of the contact surfaces, slight bending over time. Critical dimensions for the barrel: the bore diameter, usually 9mm equals 0.355. The chamber depth and headspace, locking lug dimensions. Potential failures: overpressure damage, head spacing issues. Normal wear: throat erosion, rifling wear, finish wear on locking surface. Striker. Some of the critical dimensions are tip diameter, spring channel fit, overall length. The potential damages that can occur is light primer strikes and striker drag. Normal wear: flattening of the tip, carbon buildup in the striker channel. Extractor dimensions: hook geometry, spring tension, fit in slide channel. Potential failures: failure to extract double feeds. Alright, normal wear: rounded hook edge, loose of the spring, loss of the spring tension. Guide rod. Critical dimensions: rod diameter, spring preload length, fit within slide and frame. Potential failures: spring binding or breakage, rod bending. Normal wear: spring fatigue or surface wear on the rod. Alright. Step 4. some gunsmith training to avoid component damages. Proper techniques for firearm disassembly and reassembly. That's important. Precision measurements and inspecting using calipers, micrometers, and gauges. Understanding material science and metallurgy to recognize signs of fatigue and stress. Proficiency in using tools like punches, armors, blocks, torque drivers, and specialty jigs. Manufacturer-specific training for unique component designs and tolerance. Component interactions. Slide, stop, lever. Interacting parts. Alright, the slide stop lever interacts with the slide and magazine follower. Connector interacts with the trigger bar, sear, and the striker. The barrel interacts with the slide, the recoil spring, and the locking blocks. The striker interacts with the striker spring, connector, firing pin safety, and the extractor interacts with the slide, the case rim, ejector. The guide rod interacts with recoil spring, slide, and the frame. Alright, components replacement example. I've chose the striker. It takes about 15 to 30 minutes to change the striker. So specialty tools you may need: small punch set, armorer's block or striker removal gig, nylon or brass hammer, safety glasses, and the steps to do that is unload and disassemble the firearm. Remove the slide and access the striker assembly. Use a punch to remove the back plate and extract the striker. Inspect and replace the striker. Reassemble and function test. Alright, next step is going to be reassembling the firearm. And then function check and the cycle of operation. So I will be back with that shortly. I'm back. Here's the fully assembled dummy rounds. Alright, so we're going to go with the function check first. Alright, for our function check, we're going to test the trigger. So, see that safety works. Push down, fires with the trigger held, cock it back, clicks. Alright, let's insert, let's take that around. Alright, I'm going to test the magazine. It's in there. And everything works as it should. For cycle of operation, when the trigger is pulled, the striker is released. When it strikes the primer of the chambered cartridge, igniting the gunpowder, expanding the gases, propel the bullet down the barrel. Unlocking the slide and the barrel instantly move rearward together due to recoil. After a short distance, the barrel downward tilts, unlocking the slide. And extracting the round will, after firing, the slide continues rearward. The extractor pulls the spent casing from the chamber. The casing hits the ejector, flipping it out of the ejection port. Cocking, as the slide moves back, it recocks the striker mechanism, preparing for the next shot. Feeding, the recoil spring pushes the slide forward. As it moves, it strips the round from the chamber, or from the magazine, and pushes it into the chamber. Locking the barrel, tilts backward, back up, locks into the slide. So now we're going to go with a dummy cartridge check. So see if everything's feeding properly. So then alright. So then let's see if we can, 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, empty. Alright, that is week 2 assignment. Thank you.